Hi everybody, it's Nancy with Nancy's Hooked on Crochet. I'd like to welcome you back. I'd like to thank all my new subscribers, and I hope you like my content today. I wonder how everybody, if they had a good Mother's Day. I only have one of my children that lives here, and also my grandson. So we had a little they came over. My son and his wife and the baby came over, and we ordered in Chinese food and had a little dessert. And my other children live up in New York still, so that's what I did. I mean, it's not like you could go out to eat right now. So I hope you all had a good Mother's Day. Anyway, so I think I posted in a few groups that I'm in that I started to learn Mosaic Crochet, and I wanted to tell you about it today. Okay, so what happened was one day I saw this video that was suggested to me. I never heard of the girl, and I clicked on it, and it was a tutorial of learning how to do mosaic crochet. Now, I did long time ago, before I even could make a shawl, I joined a group that was a crochet related group, and I didn't realize it was like all people that were doing like mosaic crochet, and I was so intimidated and obviously didn't know what I was doing. So I basically hung around a little while and then left because it was beyond my scope at the time. So she does like these tutorials. Her name is, I'll tell you in a second. I actually bought some patterns, which I never did before, because I really wanted to do her pattern. Anyway, her name is Tinna, and I can't pronounce the name. Yeah, see if you could see that. And she's got a YouTube channel, and I'm going to put it below after. So her name is Tinna, and she has like these charts, and she tells you how to do, she does these swatches with you. So the first one I did was the Apache Tears, which you might have heard of. So basically, this one side looks like this, and the other side looks like stripes. And you always start, if you're right-handed, from the right to the left, and you always end up with ends. That's the only bad thing. Like, you end up with these ends. So, and then you're supposed to use like contrasting colors. So usually you would have at least one solid color. Let's say I think I started on this side. So my gray was the first. And then you would have like another color that contrasts so that you can see it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see anything. You're not going to use all one color. And so she did this tutorial, which didn't take me that long to do. I think I might have tried to learn it, but I don't know. I didn't stick with it. That was way before I was, any good at crocheting. And this was the second tutorial. No, this wasn't the second tutorial. I can't remember. No, I just did a swatch. I have something else. Here it is. This was the second tutorial. And it was just this inside part. And then she shows you how to do the border, because you have all these ends hanging out on either side. So basically you do this double border, and you end up, I mean, it's extra work, but it's going to look really nice on a really big blanket. So basically she teaches you how to do a border on a little tiny swatch. So it looks like a little baby blanket, little dolly blanket. And, you could see that the other side has stripes. And she's got a whole load of tutorials. Not tutorials, I mean patterns. She has some tutorials, but I think they're more or less to help you to get the concept. And then once you get the concept, then you could try to do the pattern. And I also made a scarf. Let me show you. With the first one, I did a scarf. Oop. I made it nice and long for my son that's in New York. You won't need it for a while. Okay. I mean, and then the other side just looks like stripes. Okay. I sent him a scarf last year, and he works in Manhattan, and somebody complimented him about his scarf, and I happened to be on the phone with him. It's really funny. So this is like the first thing I made. I wasn't ready to try to make a blanket, so I made this pretty long because he's taller than I am, so I figured at least 60 inches long. And then because the strings, you could do it. She teaches you how to do like a twisted kind of fringe, but I was too lazy, so I just tied them together and trimmed them evenly. And because he liked that at the end of his other scarf. So anyway, eventually I could make more scarves. So obviously you could see the shawl that I made. So I did buy like 4 patterns. It was like buy 4 patterns and then you get one free. And you know, there's like multiple charts in some of these, not the shawl pattern, the other ones, the blankets. And then I just tried to do the shawl first because I do a lot of shawls. I did have a little trouble with it. I think like because I didn't get the pattern printed, I might have lost my place and I messed up. I guess about here, somewhere around here, I had trouble with the design. So I had some mandala sparkle cakes that I bought on clearance a while ago. See? And it had all these colors in it. So I think I went into like, they were small cakes. They're not like the regular size mandala cakes. This one only has 328 yards, and this was called Hercules, and it has like a sparkle in it. And then I bought a number 3. This is like a number 3 yarn. So I'm sorry I didn't do it in a number 4 yarn because it just like took forever. Majority of the stitches in this Mosaic Crochet are single crochet and chains and slip stitches, and also there's some double crochet, but it's mostly single crochet. So, you know, each row isn't going to amount to, you know, you'd have to do a lot of rows to get an inch. And I like my shawls on the big side. So I think I measured like 10 rows, gave me like 3 inches. Something like that. Yeah, I had measured, I counted this part down here. So I think I worked on that it was over a week. So it was getting close to 2 weeks. Not quite, maybe like 7. Finished it yesterday. Hi, sorry about that. My husband wanted to talk to me. So I was saying, anyway, I'll show you the shawl that I just finished. And like I said, I think it took me about, I don't know, it was definitely more than 10 days, but it was less than 2 weeks. And it's, because it was a number 3 yarn, it's not that heavy, but because it's doesn't really have holes, you know, it has no, and you see stripes on the other side, but you wouldn't wear that side. Okay. So I kind of like my shawls to come down to at least my elbow. Let me turn around. Hopefully you could see it. And I didn't really plan it. The beginning I just used a 1 cake. And then later on, what happened was, as the rows got really long, so you would have to trim off after every row. So I should have been like crocheting over the thread, at least going. At the end, I always ended up, so I had to sew in all the ends. So it was a lot of ends. But when I got to a certain point and I know I wasn't going to pull it out, I started I would take a break from crocheting and I would sew in the ends. So I guess that's the only thing I'm not crazy about is sewing in ends. But yeah. So like I would pick contrasting colors. But what I did was I used that mandala cake and then I bought a thing of baby yarn. Like that's a number 3. I got it at Walmart. And so I figured I was gonna do like a color in white and a color in white. But then I got a little bored of the white and I did a couple of areas here that wasn't white. And I like it. A lot of people said they liked it. I kind of had a little trouble with the pattern. Maybe I lost track of where I was. I don't know, because I've never been great with patterns. It seemed like it was written well. I just think if I had printed it out, because they said to use a Post-it note to keep track of where you are, somehow I messed up a little bit. So I just kind of like winged it. And so it's not exactly the way it should be, but you wouldn't know it if I didn't tell you. But anyway, so if you're interested in checking out this Tinna's YouTube channel, I'm going to put it down below. Then you'll be able to try the tutorials. So there's 3 different tutorials. It's like to help you learn how to do it, and that's basically all you need, she says. And soon I'm going to attempt this. I had this printed today over at Office Depot. So what happened was I didn't have a printer I could use. And I was going to do it at UPS. There's a UPS store. And it has over 25 pages. So they wanted $1 each for the first 3 pages and then like 35 cents a page. And I knew that was crazy high. And I did go to the Office Depot to print something one time. And I went back there and the whole thing ended up costing me just over $3 for the whole thing, over 25 pages. So I didn't do the math. But the UPS store is expensive for getting anything printed. So they have a way you email it to yourself. Now you email it to a certain email address for them, and then it gives you a code. And when you go to their printer, you go to self-service, and I was able to print it. So I just printed the one for now. Eventually, I'm going to print other patterns that I purchased, and there was one free pattern, but it was a square. And I had trouble making that square. I don't know what I did with it. I didn't finish it. But I'm going to try again with that. I used sticker yarn. I should have used thin yarn. So that's what I've been doing, you know. I mean, I got interested in the mosaic accidentally. It wasn't a plan. And I don't know what else I'm planning on doing. Like, I don't have anything on my hook right now. I haven't started anything new, and I'm going to soon. I'm going to have to make a decision soon because I'm not comfortable not having anything on the hook, you know? Anyway, so listen, if you didn't know that I'm doing a giveaway, and on one of my last videos, I think I did 2 videos recently, it's a small giveaway, but if you still put a comment and like that video, you can maybe win some stitch markers that I made. So I think I'm supposed to pick the winner after tomorrow, one day after tomorrow, like within the next several days. I'm going to try to do the automatic picker thing. And I made it for the USA only for the first time. So it's not this video, it's another video. I forgot what it's called, but you'd have to go back and look at my videos if you have any interest. I'm going to take a fast look. So I'm having a decaf. I'll show you what my stitch markers look like. Well, this is a different one, but it's similar to this. I bought a bunch of plastic ones, and I still have some, but I kind of like these type. This one just has a lobster claw. Then I made some that have kind of like you'd use on a necklace. Okay, let me look. I'm going to tell you the name of that video. Your videos. I'm looking on my phone. It says, Hi Crochet Friends, my first giveaway. It's right there. So I'm going to link that below also. So if you have an interest in entering this, not that big, the odds are really good you could win because there aren't that many comments. There's maybe like 8 or 10 comments, I forget, on the video. So it's pretty good odds that you could win the stitch markers. Okay, well, and that's the story. So I hope you're staying safe. So far, we're all okay in my neck of the woods. I mean, unfortunately, I know some people that have caught the virus and stuff like that. And, some are getting better, some are still suffering. Some people have lost family members, usually older people. So I pray that you and your family are well and that you're doing okay. In the meantime, I think a lot of places are starting to open up. Over here, I'm in Florida, in South Florida, so they're not opening things up very quickly. So supposedly they're going to start opening some things up next week, but we'll see if it happens. I have no clue. I'll see it to believe it. I'll believe it when I see it, actually. That's what I mean. And that's the story. I actually tried to, I hit the live button, like to see if I could do a live video, and I don't know. It said that it wouldn't do it with the browser I was using. I would have to use Google Chrome, which I have, but for some reason I've been using Edge or something. I've been using something else. So I don't know if anybody would, I don't have that many subscribers yet, so I don't know if I get anybody to show up for my live videos. And nothing much else is doing here. I mean, still wearing the mask, so I'm going out. I mean, I go out probably more than I should. I try to stay in. I mean, I sometimes go to Walmart or Aldi, or I go to pick up my grandson from daycare. But tell me what you're making. I'm going to start making something else, Mosaic, very soon. So come back and see how it comes out. Maybe I'll give you the preview. And that's the story. Actually, I'm wearing different glasses today because my other glasses started hurting my nose. And I went to the Walmart. That's why I went out again today. I went to go see the guy with the eyeglasses. I stopped there yesterday, but nobody was there and the lights were out. Because I needed my glasses. These are my regular ones. Whoops, I'm dropping stuff here. These are my regular glasses. For some reason, it was hurting. Every time I have to keep getting them adjusted. So I adjusted them, and I just got a boo-boo over here from whatever. Something moved. Just wearing my old ones for now. And thankfully, the guy was there. I mean, they had like a rope there, and there wasn't any, like, if they only had like one person, so you didn't always see him around. So he took care of me, and I got out of there. And that's the story. Well, I look forward to seeing, telling me what you've made. And hopefully you'll come and you'll go to my other video and sign up for the giveaway, which is going to be in the next few days. And then I'll make the announcement. And I hope you're well. So thanks for coming. And again, if you haven't subscribed already and you have any interest, it'd be really nice. Hit the button. That's what they will say. They say, somebody says, smash that button. That's somebody else's line. So if you have any interest, I'd love it if you subscribe. And if you have a channel, I'd love to check it out also. All right. Well, I hope you liked what I made. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Take care of yourselves. Bye.